Hi everyone, in today's build video I'm going to be working on this Hot Wheels Jackhammer. I parted this casting out some time ago for a Cybertruck build. This is because the molded section in the back looked great for an energy weapon that I was adding to the Cybertruck. So here's some quick shots of the Cybertruck. Now at long last it's finally time to give this car the Gaslands treatment. Firstly I decided to fill in the void left in the back with his engine, which came from my previous Ram truck build. Though I do need to trim it down first. So I use my trusty screw cutters, followed by my jeweler's saw to clean off the sidewalls. I do a quick little test fit before gluing it into place. Next I decide to add this Chemical Design supercharger, but first I need to remove the air filter that's already moulded onto the engine. I follow this up by adding a Chemical Design's air scoop to complete the look of the engine. Next I decide I want to have some armour panels where the rear windows are, so I'm going to keep the rear glass and cut off the front section. I also remove this post. And then glue the glass into place. As well as the rear bumper. Following this I cut up some styrene rod for the rivets. And then glue these into place over the windows to make them look like armour panels that have been bolted into place. Moving on to the front, I decided to add these bull bars, which are from the Implements of Carnage sprue from North Star military figures. I also add this machine gun made up of parts from the Chemical Designs Weapon Set 1. Mounting this partly in the cab and partly on the hood. This is so it's within reach of the driver, so he can change ammo belts and maybe fix jams and such. Next, I add these Kempsel designed bumper lights from a police bumper card set. I'm going to paint these to look like work lights, because the idea behind this vehicle is this guy's built this car in a junkyard and he's just used whatever he's had at hand. For the defensive weapon, I plan to add this barrel and make it into an oil dropper. The barrel is from the Auto Kills Arena Sprue. I cut some axles using some styrene rod. For the rear wheels, I plan to use some Kempsel Designs 14mm regular, tyre 6, rim 6. Attaching one of the wheels to the axle, and then I'll attach the other after I've finished painting it. For the front wheels, I plan to use the Kempsel Designs 12mm slim, tyre 9, rim 12. Moving on to the ammo belt, I decided to use this piece of zip tie, cutting this to length and then trimming the sides down. And then bend this into shape with my needle nose pliers. And once I'm happy with that, I glue it onto the gun. Next, add some mesh to the front windshield. Following this, I choose the driver, so I'm going to use this 172 scale World War II Italian Army driver, which I bought from 3D Jasons on eBay. Doing my usual test fit, though sadly these drivers never usually seem to fit. So I start by cutting out the seat, at first with my hobby knife, but then when that's not effective I move over to my sprue cutters. Another quick test fit shows he's going to fit, but unfortunately I'm going to have to cut off his lower legs, like usual with these figures. As you can see, now fits perfectly. So I glue the driver to the interior piece and then glue the interior piece to the base to make it easy for painting later on. Next I want to add some damage to the body, so I'm going to use this file and just rough up the body. Following this, I use my hobby knife to make some bullet holes, like so. Going back to the oil dripper, I decided to add some braces because it kind of just looks like it's free floating there and it doesn't really look that good. So for this I'm going to use some styrene strip, cutting it into lengths and then bending it into shape. And once I'm happy with it, I glue it into place. Next I use some styrene rod to make a new nozzle for the oil dropper. I bend this into shape, and once I'm happy with that I cut it to length and finally glue it into place. Moving on to the painting, I start with a base coat of Revell. I start with a base body colour of Revell Aqua Colour Dark Earth. I then apply my usual base coat of Revell Rust over all the metal parts. I then apply a base coat of Revell Aqua Colour Stone Grey as a primer on the oil dropper and working lights because I'm going to paint them yellow, followed by painting them with some Revell Aqua Colour Lufthansa Yellow. The idea is to make these look like they've been salvaged from like a construction site. I then do my usual dry brushing of Revell Aqua Colour Aluminium and Steel over all the exposed metal parts. I also use these on the damaged sections and the bullet holes. Off camera, to save a little time, I paint all the little details as well as a few body panels mishmashing colours. The idea is to sell that this was a car that was in a junkyard, in this case just kind of put this together in a junkyard so you can go racing. Followed by my usual homemade black wash. This blends everything together and gives it that nice wasteland dirty look. And here we have the final build. I'm quite happy with how this one turned out. It's been a long overdue project as I put it to one side and kept telling myself I was going to finish it, but other projects came up, and because I wasn't building this for something specific, it kept just getting pushed to the side. But it's now finally complete. But now that it's finally finished, I have another awesome build to add to my collection of Gaslands vehicles. As usual, please stick around for the glamour shots, the short animation at the end. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.